Okay, back with Jim Mars. All right, Mr. Mars. So...
Well, Jeff, first, I want to throw in a caveat, and I think
Uh-oh. How do you spell that?
Heck, I don't know. I'm a writer.
All right, never mind.
Speller.
Starts with a K or a Z or something. One of those. Yeah.
I think you'll agree with me on this. We weren't talking about the millions of fine, upstanding, practicing Jews.
Hell no.
Okay, many of whom are not Hebrews.
Hell no. I say it 3 times. Of course not.
So let's forget the religious aspect, because religion, that's a matter of individual
It's not an issue of
and in a free country, anyone should be able to practice their religion. In fact,
they do.
Most people do not realize that the longest-standing opponents to Zionism are Orthodox Jews.
I've been supporting them from the beginning, too, and you're right.
Exactly, and you can find...
They've been the biggest... Look, good Jews have been the biggest victims of Zionism. They've used them ruthlessly. They sacrificed them in the Holocaust and World War II. They continue to use them now to deflect criticism and observation of what they're really doing, these secular, non-religious creeps that hide behind Judaism.
Exactly. So this is not about religion. This is
we don't have to keep saying that. You're right. You're totally right. Let's not be too...
This is the political movement of Zionism.
The secular political movement of world dominance.
Russia.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And the inner core Zionists cannot even be tracked to Palestine. They have no claim.
They're Khazars.
And so
they're white-skinned Khazars. You know that.
Of course. But we don't even go there. Let's just talk about blackmail, okay? Any knowledgeable person knows that, without a doubt, the Israeli Mossad is probably the most effective intelligence service in the world. They know everything that's going on. They certainly know everything that's going on in the Arab world. Now, think about that, okay? They know that Israel now has nuclear weapons because they got weapons-grade plutonium from the United States. Okay? If that was actually admitted to, that would cause just, the Middle East would roil with...
We supplied it, and they stole it. Tons of it. Lots of it.
Well, they stole it while we looked the other way, and because of deals that were cut.
Right.
Now, that also means that they know where all the skeletons are buried. They know who was truly behind the Murrah Federal Building bombing in Oklahoma City. They know who was behind 9/11. Okay? Now, just think what kind of blackmail clout that gives them.
How about total control?
Right, yeah. Without going into the specifics of...
They don't have to go into the minutiae. They've got total macro control. They not only have what Jim has said in their pocket, but they've also installed the highest level, ultra top secret, above top secret communication system between the White House and the Pentagon. Do you think they might have put a backdoor in there in the software? Oh, no. They also do the billing for about 90 to 95% of all American telecom conference calls, you name it. They know who calls whom for how long. They know who you visit on the Internet. This is amazing. It's truly amazing.
And then you consider that President Obama's right-hand man, his chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, actually went over to Israel and fought with the Israeli forces, and he has been accused of holding dual citizenship.
Well, he should have lost his citizenship for doing that, frankly.
Well, just think about it. What if Jeff.Rense had gone over and fought with Al-Qaeda? I mean, you'd be in Guantanamo today, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but no, he's White House chief of staff. I mean, this type of perfidy is just unreal. And let me tell you this. I don't know if you're aware of this, but last year, guess who was honored over in Germany as being the man most responsible for the unification of Germany? George Herbert Walker Bush.
You're kidding.
The son of Nazi financier Prescott Bush, who was actually prosecuted in late 1942 by the federal government of the United States, stripped of his holdings in Union Banking Corporation, and fined a few $1 million.
Wasn't he arrested twice? I can't.
Yeah, well, it was ongoing, and yet even through the war, and even after the war, and even up until the early 50s, he was still managing affairs for Nazi organizations. So his son, George Herbert Walker Bush, is honored in Germany for being the man most responsible for bringing about the reunification of Germany. And who presented him with this award? Henry Kissinger, who also was born in Germany.
Wow.
And here's the clincher. Where did this ceremony take place? It took place at American Academy grounds on the shores of Wannsee Lake, the Wannsee.
You're kidding.
Now Jeff,
we're back. I know.
I think you know, but your listeners don't.
No.
It was on the Wannsee, at the Wannsee Conference in the middle of World War II, that the Nazis all got together, and that's when they finally decided they would push ahead with their final solution, the extermination of the Orthodox Jews, the biggest opponents to Zionism. Now, if that's not in your face, I don't know what is. But see, these people are so confident because they feel like they're in total control, and they feel like the American public is so dumbed down, and the mass corporate media is under such control that most people would never stop to think about the significance of this reunification award to George Herbert Walker Bush on the Wannsee Lake. Isn't that amazing? Now,
totally.
Let's bring it up to the latest. One of the few issues that was actually a contentious issue, even during the Bush administration, where anyone who had a negative or critical thought was chunked out, and only the psychopaths were allowed to continue.
Hold that thought. Hold on. Hold your thought. We got to take a break.
Okay.
Come right back and pick it up. I don't want to get into it. We'll put that on the front burner and be right back with Gentleman Jim Mars in just a couple of minutes and continue our always amazing conversation. Back with Mr. Mars in the great state of Texas. All right, history is so much different than the average Westerner perceives, and thank goodness for people like you and your books. And I got to tell you, Charles Freeman's letter, and others have been trying to point out the astonishing, hideous control of the Israel lobby in this country. It's so crucial for Americans to understand. They won't have a chance, though, because it will disappear immediately. But this man really took, I think, a very brave position in telling the truth. He stood up and said, this is what it is. He didn't mince it. He was very angry about having been smeared. But, of course, that's the way those people operate. They smear, they debase, they absolutely slander and destroy the reputations of anyone who gets in their way.
Of course, you've been smeared as an anti-Semite. You know, come on,
Nazi, you name it. I've been smeared for years.
I've been accused of that too, and it's ridiculous because I grew up as Jewish kids. I never thought a thing about it.
We don't have to
Some of my closest friends have been Jewish people. You know, and I have the utmost respect and admiration for.
It's the individual that counts. It doesn't matter what religious club they're in. It matters who they are as a person, and
right, and what they do. But anyway, what I wanted to share with you is give you the backstory here. As you recall, or maybe most of you don't, back during the